WWE wrestler Cody Rhodes is back in the ring, and the American Nightmare is out to take the throne. He's challenging Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE title at WrestleMania 39. But before that, he's at the Barclays Center tonight for some Monday Night Raw action. So Cody looking dapper, man, as always. But let's jump into this. I like it. The last year or so, man, you've gone through some adversity in your career with that major injury. You made your debut at Royal Rumble. Like, kind of take us back. Take us through the journey, man. Get real with us. What's it been like to get back in the ring and get back into the now, back in your journey in your career?
Sure. I had such a wonderful return to WWE a year ago, and we were firing on all cylinders for 3 months and going 3-0 against a type like Seth Rollins. But then, as you mentioned, I tore my pec. It's the first injury I've had in the 17 years I've been doing it. I felt bulletproof, and this was a total tear, tendon completely off the bone. I was able to wrestle with it that way for one match. And then after that, obviously, I had to get cut, get the surgery. First time that's happened for me. And that's a whole nother level of, when we talk about, sports psychology and mental health and being an athlete and surrounding yourself with positive people. I did that. I had an unbelievable team, Doc Dugas, Brian Tobin, and my wife, of course. And you see in the pictures from the Royal Rumble, to be able to come back 2 months early, win the Royal Rumble, which for, a non-wrestling fan, that punches your ticket to the biggest show we have of the year, that being WrestleMania. And for me, a member of the Rhodes family, to be going on last in the main event of WrestleMania is still surreal to even say. But the work's not done. We did all this rehab, prehab, all this modern correction on how to be an athlete today in 2023 and do this safely and, wrestle 2 to 3 times a week. But the work's not done. You mentioned the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. What a mouthful, by the way. That's just such a lengthy title. And to be able to get the opportunity for that at WrestleMania, SoFi in Hollywood, will be amazing. But again, we're on the road there. Barclays tonight. I haven't stepped foot in Barclays in 7 years. And to be able to come out and feel them tonight, I'm sure we've got something exciting in store for them and give them something very Monday Night Raw. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to you guys tonight. But I read somewhere that you popped your eardrum during the Royal Rumble. Like you're good now. Like what was going through your mind when that happens? Like how'd you get through the match with that?
So, if you've ever had your eardrum popped, it's a ringing sound. It's unmistakable. You can feel air blowing out of it. I was just kind of tickled hilariously that it happened. I'm finally back. We're back 2 months early. The last thing on earth we need to do is get hurt because you don't want to be on that list, that medical list. And anyways, I was able to get through it just fine, just a tiny little perforation. But the funny thing is on a night that you're surrounded by 60,000 people in the Alamo Dome, excited, you'd like to hear them. And I could only hear half of them. And that was a little bit of I could feel them, if that makes any sense. But you'd like to hear them more. And that was a night that was kind of a bummer not to fully hear it. But I remember I came right backstage and I had to start doing media and press right away. Again, winning the Royal Rumble means you're going to WrestleMania. And I mentioned that I had popped my eardrum, and I wish I hadn't, because as soon as I was done with that media, WWE is so good with their medical personnel and the doctors. They come running up to me, stick that thing in my ear, and I'm thinking, no, I wanted to put it in the ear that wasn't hurting just so I could trick them. But they knew. They took care of it. I was able to just get through the next few days with no issues. It's part of what we do. Sports entertainment and combat sports, slaps a little high up, eardrum pops, but not the end of the world. I'm one of those crazy wrestlers who likes the pain a little bit. And today, I'm good. I can hear everybody. I can hear everything. I'm ready.
We take the gore with the glory, the good with the bad. That's what we athletes do. You can.
I like that.
You can have that. You'll run with that. So now that you've punched that ticket to WrestleMania 39? Like, have you had a chance to really sit back and reflect on it all? And like, what's that preparation like? Because that's not till April, and you've got matches in between. So how do you prepare for WrestleMania 39?
Well, we're 40 something days out, or 50 something days out, whatever it may be. But the ticket will be, conditioning wise, I had a really strict regimen heading in. That's why we were able to come back those 2 months early. I had a really strict regimen, diet and training wise, to go along with the rehab. And I think we've reevaluated how we want to get there. Roman Reigns potentially being my opponent, Sami Zayn being the other potential opponent for that night. I think we want to evaluate, but we really want to maintain, because as you mentioned, I'm wrestling multiple times a week. So it's a high macros, a lot of calories, a lot of rest, a lot of recovery when I'm home. And again, I have my wife is outstanding in terms of understanding. Like you said, we're heading to the biggest event in the history of sports entertainment and our sport and our industry. I plan to be as healthy as I can be for it. So it's every day set these little goals, and every day you'll be doing something training wise. You'll be doing something to get your mind right. But if you ever watch, the Monday Night Raw, I'm very calm. I'm always smiling when I come out there. That's the mental place I've got to stay in on the road to WrestleMania, because I've got to stay calm. I've got to not let I can't dwindle under the lights. You were watching the Super Bowl last night. Neither of those teams, they didn't flinch. An outstanding game. The national championship in college football is a different story. Sometimes the lights can be a little too big for you. And this is my first time to the main event. It's not Roman's first time. It will be Sammy's first time if he's the one I'm facing. But I want to make sure I stand and shine just as brightly as he does.
Staying in that moment, capturing that moment. That's what that Mamba mentality. That's what Kobe gave us as athletes. I want to talk to you about legacy, man, because your dad's a legend. Like, he was the man during my childhood growing up. I was a wrestling fan. So let's talk about the Rhodes legacy, and what does your last name mean to the sport?
I was telling folks kind of on the media trail that I consider Dusty Rhodes. I consider him to be a Mount Rushmore wrestler, and not because I'm his son, because of what he did when it comes to pay-per-view, or now what we call premium live events, and his eye for the big picture and his eyes for subversion of expectations, what a wrestler can be and should be and look like, and his ability to connect with fans. But one of the secrets about being a second and third generation, and it's not really a secret if you've heard me talk that often, it's just how you say it. You don't want to rub people the wrong way. But the secret is, you don't just want to be your dad. I don't want to just be Dusty Rhodes, and I don't want to be my brother Goldust. You don't want to just be an imitation or doing a tribute act. You want to be better. You do. That's the real way, I feel like, in his passing, honoring him, is I'm in a spot he's never been in terms of the main event of WrestleMania, and I'm competing for a championship that he got a shot for in 1978. That's when the story started, 7 years before I was even born. So to be able to finish his story is also finishing a portion of mine. And lately, in every interview I've been doing, whether it be on Monday Night Raw or just across the board, I've mentioned him, and it will stay the same because he is so present currently in what I'm doing, just because he's absolutely the benchmark for me as far as wanting to get ahead of where he's at. And if there is this wonderful place where we all go to one day, to be able to walk up to him and potentially put down the title he never won, that's all a son ever could wish for, right? And those points and that admiration from, he's my hero in the industry. I'd love it if I could be his, even for a moment. And I love carrying the legacy forward. I don't shy away from it. I'm well adjusted to it now. Roman Reigns is a product of Dusty as well. My dad helped train Roman, train Seth, train Sammy. He helped train them, and it's like you're playing against these creations that your dad had a hand in, and that makes the plot even thicker.
I love how you handle it, man. Like, the pressure is a privilege when we're carrying the torch. Like, that's basically, you just broke that down. And I love it, man. Good luck tonight on Monday Night Raw, and good luck at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes.
Thank you so much, my friend.